Hello, folks. Thank you for plugging into another episode of the Rocker Dog Podcast, the show that talks to musicians about their dogs and how awesome they are. The dogs, that is. I'm your host, Tim Dill, and I'll be channeling my dog, Charlie, and asking questions to this week's guest, Zac Carper of the band FIDLAR. Zac is also a producer, mixer, and songwriter, and the partner of last week's guest, Suzy Shinn, so we'll be getting his perspective on this studio-frequenting rocker dog.
This is Jack. Jack is 8 or 9 years old. He's a little grumpy boy. He likes to bite people, and he likes to growl at people, and that's good. That's
Excellent.
what I like about him.
Well, to give my audience a little bit of background, you've been described as Jack's Faja.
Yeah, I am Jack's father. I am Jack's father.
And that's from your girlfriend, partner, Suzy Shinn, who will precede this episode. She'll have first introduce us to Jack, but you're going to kind of round it out and we'll compare notes. So you started a little bit on it, but how would you best describe Jack's personality?
Jack is a little shell-shocked, I think. He's like fine, and then like you kind of bug him, and then he like flips out on you, you know? And like he never like breaks skin when he bites. He's a chihuahua, so he's just like always just like, you know, like kind of like a tough guy a little bit. But that's also because like I kind of roughhouse him too.
And how far back do you go with Suzy and Jack? Were you there from the beginning?
No, I got in the picture 4 years ago.
Okay.
And Jack must have been like
About four.
4 or something like that. And
Now, were you privy to, I guess in the origin story that I heard from Jack, Suzy had gotten spicy taco, which didn't work
yeah.
out, but then went to her mother. So you've probably since met spicy taco.
Oh yeah, spicy taco is a terror. Absolute terror.
It's funny because when I was editing the Suzy's episode, I'm like, gosh, why didn't I stay on spicy taco longer? I feel like he or she could be his
Oh
own
my God. Did she
episode.
tell you about like he's like he went to dog jail? Spicy taco is a menace to society.
She
He
had
like
mentioned, I think she got like a trainer to, like a training intervention, and the trainer was like, yeah, this
yeah,
dog is
untrainable.
bad to the bone.
Yeah. I guess he like ran away from the house in Kansas and jumped into a mail truck, like a post office truck,
Oh my God.
van, and just like bit the postman like a bunch of times, and they had to put him in like dog jail for like a while, and there
Oh
was
my
like a
God.
warrant or something like this. The mom had to pay like a bench warrant or something like that. It was hilarious. We were just like, what?
I
But yeah,
love it.
spicy taco's a little terror. He's still alive. He's gonna be alive forever, probably. That's crazy.
Now, does he live with her parents in
Yeah,
Kansas?
Kansas.
Okay. So you just see on occasion.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
has
that's
has he
enough for me.
has he mellowed
That's
at all with age
no,
or
no,
gotten
no,
angrier?
no. Yeah.
Well, in order to get a better read on Jack's personality, I wish I did this with Suzy, but I do this with a lot of guests. Oftentimes, I'll just, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being terrible, 10 being the best, I wanted to see how Jack ranks at certain things. So
Okay.
how does Jack rank as a personal trainer? Does he get you
Like,
up and out?
yeah, 10. Especially in the studio. He like, every 2 hours, he's like, take me on a W. I can't even say the word in front of him, or else he'll
Okay.
freak out. Yeah.
It's funny,
Yeah.
sooner or later he's going to pick up on what a W means.
I know. He started like we were spelling it out, but then he started knowing. Like I think it's the K or something. He's just like, huh?
The second thing I ask is how is Jack as a security guard? I know he's small, but I think the small dogs have the biggest chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, he if he's around Suzy, he will, if anybody comes up to Suzy that he doesn't know, he will like attack, like bark and like, like protect Suzy. He does that with me sometimes. He started doing that with me more, but other than that, like the best dog. He's a 10 when it comes to like protecting Susie.
Hmm.
But when it comes to protecting anything else, Jack, he is a 1, a big old fat 1. Like we've had people break into our house or he gets really scared. Like he gets like really like it's the Chihuahua thing, you know, it's like very like shaky and scared.
Okay.
He doesn't like loud noises too,
That's
which
kind
is
of how Susie described him, was very spoiled but scared of everything.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. How is Jack as a therapist? Would he make a good emotional support dog?
I think so. I think so. He's very affectionate and like he's very cute. He'll come up to you doing cute stuff and want to cuddle and stuff like that.
And lastly, how is Jack as a studio dog?
I think with Susie, he's a 10, but with me, I'm like deaf. With my band, like I play loud music, so I'm deaf. So when I'm in the studio, I kind of need it loud, and he gets a little scared on loud noises. But that being said, actually, I've been learning how to do quiet now because of him, which is actually pretty good, actually, to be honest, probably healthier. So yeah, I'd say a 5. He's fifty
Okay.
fifty on that one.
All right. And you alluded to this a little bit. You mentioned dogs. What's your history with dogs? Like, where are you from originally? Are you from Hawaii originally?
Yeah, I'm from Hawaii.
Okay.
Grew up with dogs, all my life. We call them poi dogs. They're just like mixed mutts, basically, Got a lot of like stray animals in Hawaii too, a lot of dogs and cats, but mainly dogs. Grew up with
Okay.
dogs. Yeah.
Any that had a profound effect on you? Like, do you have a favorite? Do you have
Yeah.
a
I
childhood dog?
mean, yeah, Lucy was crazy. Like we hardly fed Lucy, but Lucy was so cute that it would like we would feed it, but he would never eat our food. He would eat or she would eat everybody else's food on the beach. And Lucy weighed like 110 pounds. He was so fat, so fat. And we were just like, why is this dog like, how is this dog gaining weight? And then we realized like there's a bunch of people on the beach just like having barbecues and stuff like that and just getting fed all the time.
Too funny. Now,
Yeah.
were these dogs that you sought out and got, or were these dogs kind of wander in your life someday and then you kind of kept them and
That
fed
Lucy
them
was
and
like from like when I was a teenager. So like that was I think we got that dog, like I think we like bought that dog or went to the pound and bought that. I can't remember. That's been so long ago. But all the other ones are kind of like just mutts. We've had more cats like come that's are just like out of the blue. You know what I mean? That's
yeah,
like, all right, I guess this is my cat now. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, there's been one dog that was just like wandered in and was like, all right, this is our dog now. Like it does happen, especially in Hawaii. It happens all the time.
Yeah. It's funny. I talked to one of the members of the Go-Go's. Do you remember the Go-Go's
Yeah, yeah.
from the 80s? She lives there now, and she said she does all this shelter work, but one thing she's trying to do is like it's still legal to eat dogs
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah. In
in
Hawaii,
Hawaii.
that was always kind of like we had one dog go missing and we were like, oh no. You know, it's pretty wild out there. I mean, it's like very, very wild out there still.
Is that like folklore to you guys? Like, the
No,
fact that your dog goes missing and you're like, oh my gosh, somebody's gonna eat it.
no, no. I mean, there's a lot of that in Asian culture in general, and in Hawaii, like I'm half Japanese and a lot of my friends were Japanese, Filipino, like there's a lot of Asian culture in there. And a lot of these people, like they come from Asia and they migrate to Hawaii.
Hmm.
And Hawaii is, I've always said this is like Hawaii feels more like Asia than it does America to me. It's just Asia with on the American dollar because you just don't see that much of the Americanism that much where especially where I grew up is very country area.
Yep.
So yeah, it's something that would just happen and you would hear about it and somebody at a potluck would bring dog and you're like, "Whoa, what?"
No
Like,
way. Are you serious?
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my
And it was just
gosh.
like growing up, I don't know if it's like that anymore, but growing up it was like that for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Gosh. Well, oftentimes I want to see if the band and the dog kind of mesh in any way, and I just found a funny description of the band on Wikipedia, which take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, yeah.
But it said FIDLAR are mostly known for their short, fast songs that deal with partying and narcotics.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's about right. That's about right.
That said, is Jack on brand with the band?
Are you on brand with the band? You doing dope? No, nah, he's pretty chill. Like Jack just is a chill dog, you know?
Hmm.
Like anybody that like sometimes they'll have to like babysit Jack and stuff like that. Like they've always said like it's just so chill, you know?
Yeah,
He just needs to be W'd like once, twice, three times a day, you know what I mean? Like, but
yeah.
that's normal.
Okay.
But yeah, he's definitely not. There's dogs that I met that are just like, all right, that dog acts like it's on drugs, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
but
yeah.
not Jack. Jack is a little bit more chill.
Now, you and the band seem to have a great sense of humor. And I'm wondering, is he a source of entertainment to you as well?
100%, 100%, 100%, 100%. Anytime I get bummed out, I just go and annoy Jack, and then he bites me and stuff. It's fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
This next question, this goes back to Susie's episode. Susie and I did the interview and then ended the interview and we got to talking. And then she goes on to tell me this really funny story about Jack. So I'm like, oh my God, like I've got to find a place to edit this back into the episode. So I want to come out and just ask you, do you have a go-to story for Jack? Whether it's funny or profound or sad or dramatic?
Me and Jack did not like each other when we first met. Like he did not like me, you know, and he was being very protective of me, you know, or protective of Susie and would bite me all the time and like he still does. Like I just have gotten used to it and it was kind of just really bumming me out because I really wanted to like, you know, connect with this dog. And I just remember having this moment when Susie was out of town and I had to watch after Jack. And after taking care of him, there was just this moment where like it felt like I was on drugs, but I'm not on drugs. I swear to God, man. Like
Okay.
it felt like what I imagine like if you see your child for the first time, like you like imprint on them, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that happened with me with Jack, and it tripped me out for like a couple days. I've always had pets and stuff like that, but I think as I got older, I didn't have any pets for a long time. And being a touring musician, you just like it's so hard to like maintain a animal, you know, on the road while you're on the road. So when like I came into Susie's life and Jack was there, like this thing happened and I was just like, oh my God, it's like I'm falling in love all over again. You know what I mean? And it blew my mind. I was just like, I had to look it up online. It's like, does this happen to people? Like it was crazy. It was like
That's
a
great.
spiritual moment of like with this dog that hated me.
Yeah.
And then after like literally like after that, he started following me around and started it, you know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
was just this wild moment that just like I guess it's like they call it like imprinting, you know? And yeah, it blew my mind.
I'll have to look that up, imprinting. Now, prior to that, was there ever a discussion with Susie about like, what's with your dog?
Yeah, yeah,
Either
yeah.
what's with your dog, doesn't
There's
like me,
still
or
discussions with Susie about that. It's like he will straight up just bite you out of nowhere, you know, and you're just like, okay, you just gotta deal with it, you know. After like 6 p.m. or after the sun goes down, he gets super grumpy. He's like, take me to bed right now. And yeah, you know, like I think she's gotten some training and stuff like that. I guess he had an accident, and since then, he hasn't been the same, you know? So I think there's some like trauma, like little PTSD in there.
yeah, she mentioned hit by a car a couple
Yeah, I
times,
got hit by a
like
car.
twice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good
Yeah,
job,
poor
Jack.
guy.
Good job.
Now, has Jack or any dog in general taught you anything? Are there any lessons we can take from having dogs?
I mean, it really is as cheesy as it sounds, and everybody says that where it's like, but the dog's walking me, like it really does happen because I think when we do creative work, we get these things called flow states that we're in, and we shut out the world and we're zoned in on what we're doing, that we don't really learn how to, like, we don't take care of ourselves, you know what I mean? And like
Hmm.
having something that just kind of every 2 hours is like, hey, dude, like,
Right.
come on, like every 3 hours, like, take me outside. I gotta pee, like
Right.
it really is this weird, kind of like a weird hack, you know what I mean? That just
Yeah. But a
anytime I'm away from
responsibility,
it, yeah, it's a
a responsibility
responsibility,
outside yourself.
100%. It's a responsibility outside yourself, and just even that, like, you meet different people too, you know what I mean? Like, you meet other dog people and stuff like that. Like, it's a wild trip, like having a dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at me. I started a podcast.
Yeah. I love that. I love that.
Now, just going through your social media, trying to dig up some stuff to talk about, relevant to dogs, I noticed you've got these great doggy PJs.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
Rough Night, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
RUFF. Do you still
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
those?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was like our first, me and Susie's first like couples trip. We went to like Big Bear, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy these." Yeah.
All right. And straying from the dog for a second, I understand you guys have a rat, or used to have,
We
or are
had a
fostering
rat,
a rat.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Did Susie bring that into the relationship, or was that
Yeah,
something
yeah.
you were?
Susie's the animal. I get dumped with animals all day long. Yeah, the rat was wild because I didn't realize rats were rats are so smart. It was
Yeah.
crazy. Like, I was playing fetch with the rat. Like, it was
Really?
like, yeah, Star. His name was, we named him Star. It was rats backwards.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it would just like come up to me all the time and just want like to be pet, and would just like come and hang out and just hang out. It was like having a dog. Like, it's almost like a cat and a dog put together. It was wild.
Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, I got the impression too, like Susie said, I would just put the rat in my hoodie and it would
Yeah,
just
yeah.
chill there. I mean, that sounds very cool.
Yeah, it's just at first I was like, no rats, no rodents, no, no, like, get it out, and then eventually I started like, I was waking up early during that time, and like I'd be the first person to go say hi to it and hang out with it and feed it, and I kind of fell in love with this rat too. Like, it was wild.
It's funny, I can't imagine, and I know I'm wrong, but like, how does the personality come through in the rat? Same way as any other animal?
Yeah, like, we fostered a couple different rats after that, and this one was, each rat has its own personality. That's what you would think, that they're all kind of similar, right? Because in our mind, that's what we picture. But each one that we foster has totally different personalities from each other. The one that I'm talking about, Star, was like, it was I think like a rare kind of rat, like just a rare emotional kind of being. Like, it was wild. I have
Yeah.
no idea how to explain it really. We would be eating and it would like come and jump up to us and like want like some food and da, da, da. Like, it was so crazy. It was like a dog. It was like begging for food. It was so wild.
Yeah, that is wild. I have a hard time wrapping my head around it. And it's funny that you were fostering the rat. So you're fostering the rat until a forever home came around, or just
No,
fostering
foster the
until,
rat until it dies. Rats die. That's the
oh,
problem with rats. Is rats die, and when they die, it's quick. Like, it's not even that it's quick. It's like they're fine, then all of a sudden they're super sick and they're gonna die. So it's just this like, and rats don't live long, and there's not any. There's this poor lady that's doing this like by herself, the rat rodent rescue, and yeah, it's crazy.
so yours passed away. Like you kept yours for their lifetime?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Basically, it's like nobody wants a rat at 2 years old, basically, because there's like, you got maybe 6 to 7 months of it left. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Wow.
so she's got all these like kind of like older rats, and Susie has decided to ruin my life once again by making me fall in love with these animals and then dying and then me just losing my mind.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your
Yeah,
losses.
yeah, it's okay. Thanks though.
Well, back on the dog track, I wrap up every show with what I call the zoomies, and that's just five fast, frivolous questions. The first question, and we'll compare these to Susie's. Do you let Jack lick your face?
Yes.
Okay. She said she wasn't against it, but he's not a big licker.
He does. We call it kisses, and sometimes his breath is so stink we're like no kisses, you know?
All right, question two. Does Jack have a theme song?
Yeah. There's this song that when I was making my last record, I was trying to finish it by the time it was done, but in my head it's this song called Jackie.
Can you
And
give
yeah.
us a
Yeah, is it?
verse?
Oh, come on, Jackie, let's ride tonight. Let's go and get fried tonight. That's about it.
I would. Is that ever going to make it on?
Oh
You
yeah,
know.
yeah. It'll blossom. I just gotta water the seed a little bit more, you know?
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
we'll hold out for that.
Yeah.
Question three. Hypothetically, if Jack were to go on tour with you, what would he want on his rider?
He loves meat, any cooked meat, so he's gonna have that hamburger steak, and toys. He's obsessed with toys. He doesn't really care about food that much, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
But toys just goes absolutely nuts for.
Okay. Susie was bacon, salmon, a dog bed, and a
Yeah.
big dog to hang out with.
He does like a big dog. You know what he loves too is the red light. That's what would be on his rider. A red light therapy light. You know, like Susie goes under this red light therapy and he loves it. It's like because it's warm, you know?
Yeah.
Just
What is
loves
that
it.
there? Is that like the seasonal depression therapy light?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Or it's called red light therapy. I'm not sure what the science is behind it, but he loves it. Anytime she turns it on, he goes and just
That's funny.
runs.
That's very funny. Okay, question four is, do you have a dog voice?
I talked to him in kind of a no, it's a little bit more high pitched, you know, like
Hmm.
he definitely responds to different Jackie. Yeah, he doesn't listen to me. He doesn't listen to me. Susie knows how to talk to him, but he doesn't listen to me.
Okay, question five, I always ask if there's a dog organization or a service you'd like to give a shout out to.
Ooh, that I was gonna say South Bay Rodent Rescue. That's the one that I say all the time. But you were asking about dogs. I don't know any dog ones.
Okay, no worries. My last question has to do with the band name. And I know it's got dog in it, and I know
It
it's not,
does.
it doesn't
Yeah.
mean dog. Where did the FIDLAR name originate?
It was a skate crew. Like there was, I don't know, eight of us in 2009 or something like that, and it just became the saying that we would say, you know, FIDLAR. If we wanted to do a trick or jump a stair or like drop in on a half pipe or whatever it is, it became FIDLAR. It's like it was before YOLO and like YOLO kind of took off, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
but it was
yeah.
FIDLAR and like a dog likes a risk, you know. It's like just kind of what we would always say. And I was trying to make it into a skate company and all my friends were like that. My roommates and friends were just like, yeah, dude, we should totally do that, dude. Yeah, totally. But like it never got done, you know? And I started making music and then like I just made a flyer and just put it up on the flyer and that's
All
it.
right. I
But
love
yeah,
it.
it was a skateboard crew.
Okay. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Well, Zach, thanks for giving me your time and taking me through Jack once again and having me compare and contrast with Susie. But I appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you for having me. Glad we could have done it.
Carl, you're a damn good dog.